This is sensitive information and can't give, entire details on it. But what I will say is there are two pieces of relevant information. The first is that the 49ers are active in the cornerback market and
Wow.
not potentially as some may be hoping, right? A lot of 49ers fans have set their eyes on some of the top tier cornerbacks out there. And I think most of those folks that are doing that realize it's a bit unrealistic. So as you would suspect, these individuals, the 49ers are looking at, and in particular, this scenario that is setting up is more in that mid-grade range. We're not talking about someone who's going to command $13, $14, $15 million a year. We're talking about someone that's going to be sub $10 million a year. So this
what you're saying is not Stephon Gilmore.
He is not Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
He is not,
okay.
Unless Stephon Gilmore wants to take a serious discount to come play for the San Francisco 49ers. No, this is
Gilmore
not
can
the
get
Stephon
14,
Gilmore
15
news.
million a year still.
You would think that he is going to make somewhere around there.
Yes.
So this, to me, it immediately brought to mind names like Kyle Fuller could be a potential link to this story. Now, that is not me saying that is a link to this story. I do not have a name attached to this, just that grade of cornerback that is being sought after and where they're coming from, but can't disclose some of that information.
You said you had a second piece of information to drop on.
The second piece of information is tagging on to what we already heard hinted at by John Lynch with regard to Mike McGlinchey, talking about Mike McGlinchey needing to, have patience in waiting for him to fully heal from this injury. This piece of rumored news is that the San Francisco 49ers are very skeptical of that return from injury and will, in free agency, work on an insurance policy against Mike McGlinchey. So look for the 49ers to be active in that tackle.
Could you repeat that again about the insurance policy? Just one more time. What exactly is going on there?
The 49ers will be looking to add a tackle to have an insurance policy in case Mike McGlinchey is not ready to go at the start of the year or is not healthy.
Yeah, that makes sense because as our own Jason Aponte, also boots on the ground, asked the first question at John Lynch's press conference and said, what's the deal with McGlinchey? And if it's worse than we know, could that impact your draft offseason strategy? And Lynch essentially didn't answer that question, but what he did say is that they're going to give him lots of time to get healthy, time to be pain-free, which to me sounds like no timetable for his return.
Yes, this does seem to coincide nicely with that piece of news from John Lynch. I mean, if they're going to give a lot of time to McGlinchey, it could be that they just need someone to start the year as a right tackle.
Interesting. Someone better than Tom Compton, I would think. So Tom Compton was in the $1 million a year range. I wonder what they'd be spending on a starting right tackles are they're not cheap. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yes, very interesting to see. I mean, there are certainly some prospects, but this piece of news, this rumor was in relation to free agency and the Niners bringing somebody in there. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds.